Hi there. I did Lee Bennett Hopkins for the Power of Reading activity. Um, First thing that I noticed that was interesting about how the power of reading impacted him was that he mentioned when he was younger, survival was more important than reading or entertainment. Um, I think that that's something teachers forget a lot, that some of these kids are dealing with a lot bigger things than just homework and school. Kind of goes back to that Maslow's hierarchy. If they can't feel safe and secure and have everything else they need, they can't worry about things like that. Then Lee Bennett Hopkins went on to say that there was a teacher that realized he wasn't a very good reader. Or she, I wasn't exactly sure because it did mention that the hook book here was Little Women. And so I wasn't exactly sure. Lee's kind of an ambiguous name there. But anyway, the teacher gave the student a play, a script to read instead of a full text novel because he or she wasn't very good at reading. And so that's a little bit, it's chunked better for a struggling reader. And that's what got the student more and more engaged in reading. And then, like I said, the hook book, the book that they really, really liked because they lacked that family element in their own life, was Little Women. I also, Lee Hopkins Bennett finished it off with a quote that I thought was just so good. It said, "We spend too much time teaching them to read and not enough time teaching them to love to read." So we're teaching them the elements that they need, but not teaching them the actual love for literature. And I think that that really only comes from letting them read what they want to read instead of what we say they have to read. So the next part of this assignment was for me to do a student reflection. I kind of reflected already a little bit on what Lee Bennett Hopkins said. You know, important to remember about needs first. Love what it said about not teaching them to appreciate and love reading, just teaching them the tools. It's really hard for a 17-year-old. I teach secondary English to get into classical literature. And that doesn't foster the love of learning. That just fosters analysis. And so I think that it's important to remember that that's not actually what you're doing when you're putting, a Hemingway or Shakespeare in front of them. You're fostering your goals and your objectives for your standards, but that doesn't necessarily create a love for learning in most of your students, or reading, in most of your students. As far as my life, on the power of books and reading in my own life, I am a big, big reader and have been pretty much my entire life. I have vivid memories of reading the little golden books whenever I was younger. When I was in junior high, I'm pretty introverted. I like my time to recharge. And when I was in junior high, I realized that I preferred recharging with literature, with books, than with like TV or something like that. So some kids get in their room and they like to turn on their headphones and just chill, and that's their way to recharge. For me, it was always just reading. And so it took me a while to realize that I need that time and order to be the most successful version of myself. And that's where books have been powerful for me. Is they're a tool for doing that. Another way they've been powerful for my life is identifying, which I think is a way they're so powerful for lots of people, is that if I can identify with a character and the struggle that they experience, it makes you feel like you're not different, or you're not, alone. And so that's another way that, when you're awkward and you're in junior high, that books were helpful to me. Because I could read books about other people my age and understand, okay, this is something that it's temporary and other people experience it. And as an adult, it's just, I just love to read, and I love to foster reading in other people because it's such a, it keeps your mind sharp, and it's such a wonderful hobby or pastime or entertaining thing to do, that keeps you a little bit more engaged than just staring at a TV. And it's really all about the love of stories. And I think that stories help us connect with other people and learn empathy. And so that's kind of where I think the power of reading has affected my own life. Okay, thank you.